Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Thomas Podcast YouTube channel here today. Today is a kind of sequel to my video I posted yesterday, which was about James Gunn and Peter Safran's Phase 1 of their DC universe. This is about the Arrowverse, the universe which is about to close as another one opens. I have loved the Arrowverse since about 2016, which I know obviously was not where it started. It started all the way back in 2012 with the first series of Arrow. But I started it within 2016 when The Flash was about to go into its third season. I remember getting the season 1 on Blu-ray just randomly. I don't know why. I remember going into HMV and just picking it up and watching it. I think I was at the all-time superhero high because I just discovered the MCU not too long ago either. I know I was late to both parties. It's what happens when you're in your early 20s. You just miss out on things, you know. So really, I was at the superhero high. I watched the first series of The Flash. I watched that series, which is 23 episodes long, in about 4 days. I loved it, and I thought this is really good content. And then suddenly, I started to watch the rest of it, and it was really good stuff. I mean, I loved Arrow. I loved Legends of Tomorrow for the first few seasons. I loved Flash when I was watching it, and I consistently remember watching each week through seasons 4 and 5 of Arrow. Back end of season 4 of Arrow, season 2 of The Flash, and Legends of Tomorrow. I remember watching those at the same time. So I remember my first episode, I think I watched live. I say live. They aired a late in the UK. The Invasion crossover. I remember watching that as it aired and kind of introduced me to the Legends characters a bit more, because I actually didn't realise that they made this entirely different show because I was watching on Blu-ray. I wasn't watching with it, and the release here in the UK, which on Sky, was a bit scattered and a bit sort of confusing compared to them all being on the CW and they're all just coming out at like regular days and set days and stuff. But this video isn't about my love for the Arrowverse. It's about what happened to the Arrowverse. Because at one point it was riding high. We had the build-up to Crisis on Infinite Earths. We had like 6 TV shows. And now, a few years after that, it's ending. And not just because of this whole takeover, but because the quality has decreased and the interest is just gone. What happens? I don't get it. Now look, I love The Flash. The first few seasons of The Flash, I think, are the best of the Arrowverse, sorry. But what's happened to the show? I haven't watched since season 6, and I don't mean as in I haven't been keeping up. I can have an idea of what's going on, but for the first 4 series, I'd say it was watch week to week. Not every week wouldn't be as good as the other, but there would be a weekly quality to it that you would have to watch. Whereas same with Arrow for the first few seasons, but even now I'd say Arrow is a bit more consistent, because even the worst series of Arrow, I think, are far better than the worst series of The Flash. And now The Flash entering its 9th season, and I've only completed 5 of them, and the 5th series I thought was one of the worst things I'd seen. Now I understand they changed showrunner, and for good reason. There's a lot of controversy going on, which seems to be a normal thing with DC these days, but it just, I don't know, because I thought these were better than Marvel Netflix shows at one point. Now I get they're a bit melodramatic, but please understand, I'm from the UK. We literally watch soap operas 3 times a week, so to have like a superhero soap opera almost in The Flash, I'm buzzing for it. And I also love the relationship drama, and I think it's brilliant, even when it's a bit dumb. Like the consistent need to get Oliver and Felicity together, and the consistency to get Barry and Iris together, even though there were so many better partners for them. I thought the villains were really good. I mean, you had Reverse Flash, Prometheus, even Damien Dark, especially in Legends, Zoom, Malcolm Merlin, Deathstroke. And then you go to this season and it's Cicada. They're just carbon copies and they're less interesting. I also think the big thing here is the fact that the series is just too long. I think it worked when you had characters that you care about, but now that all of the cool characters in each show have gone, or when they were on, went. I mean, let's talk about Flash as a good example here. Season 1, 2 and 3, it's pretty good in terms of the character basis. I mean, characters are getting powers, but they're not overtaking Barry, and Iris isn't at her lowest point yet either. and it is essentially a show about Barry. But the issue is they make every show a team-up show. It doesn't work. I mean, see, these shows work when they're really minimalistic, and you have the main superhero and you have a few sidekicks. Not when you have 7 people on each team with all superpowers and stuff. I mean, they even had to make Iris have superpowers in one episode. I mean, why not? Everyone else has got them. It just baffles me. I understand that comics accuracy and everyone gets powers in comic books, but the thing is with comic books is it doesn't work to a television show arc. You can do so much with those characters, and they can have their own little spin-off comics and do their own thing. Whereas in this, you have distinctly linked them to their main characters. So when you have people like Mr. Terrific, or even Cisco as Reverb, and Reverb's the Earth 2 version. I can't think of what he's actually called. But yeah, you get the point. You have so many different characters. You have Allegra now, you have Chester, who's just a Cisco rehash. And that's the issue as well, when a character gets taken out of the show, another one just comes in and replaces them straight away. It's really weird. I mean, nothing is ever more present than that, than Harrison Wells, which had a really weird fascination over of just changing it every time. Now I get that Tom Cavan is a brilliant actor, but he didn't need to keep changing it. For me anyway. I mean, I thought Harry was great in season 2, and they brought him back in season 4, and then they essentially almost killed him off. So yeah, and then now apparently in the later seasons Harrison Wells isn't in it, but there was amalgamation. They were all sharing one body after Crisis. Right, okay. Didn't make sense to me. And also as well, you got to look at things like Legends, right? For example, we started off with characters that we cared about and knew. That was the whole point of the show, and they would get replaced with characters that we knew or cared about. Like we had a Vixen come in. We had Nate, who was great. Mr. Steele. Again, their names are evading me. You even had Wally come in at season 3 of Legends of Tomorrow, but instead, what they did in the later seasons was just to replace them with new characters that didn't have powers, and well, they had powers, but they weren't interesting. I mean, Director Sharp and Sarah's relationship's brilliant, but why is she on the ship? Their whole dynamic works because they're two opposites that attract. You don't make them similar because that becomes boring. You don't give everyone superpowers because that becomes boring. You don't make Rory pregnant with alien babies and write him out the show and then bring Constantine in just to kill him off so Matt Ryan can play a different character. Now I get that is to do with the fact that DC have also had some tampering with what the Arrowverse can use, so essentially it's kind of bootstrapped to whatever DC want it to be. But yeah, it just kind of feels weird, and I'm happy it's ending. You had shows like Black Lightning come in and then just leave, same with Batwoman, even Superman and Lois, Supergirl. You know, it was so weird. They linked these shows together at the end of Crisis and did nothing with it. Now, I'm not suggesting you need to have Melissa Benoist and Grant Gustin appear every week on each show, but at least up the rate of crossover. I understand there was a pandemic as well, which definitely affected things, but I think that wasn't the problem. It was the quality of storytelling. I mean, we didn't have any crossovers really in the first. We didn't have in the first season of Arrow. Barry Allen was in it, but he didn't cross over with the Flash. You know, it's about the quality of storytelling, and I thought Arrow had the most consistent, even though it was still inconsistent as hell. Especially seasons 4 and 6, I thought were dreadful. Season 8 was great though. Season 8 was a return to form. And I hope season 9 can be for the Flash. This is the end of the Arrowverse. We got so many characters coming back. We got Oliver Queen coming back, for God's sake. I'm excited for this, and I shouldn't be, because I haven't seen season 7 or 8 of Flash. I'm currently doing a Flash rewatch to get ready for the next season. I haven't seen those 2 seasons. I've disliked what I've heard about them, so I can only be surprised and not disappointed. But now I'm going to throw over to somebody else, someone you might recognise, who will be joining me on the Flash season 9 podcast, which is Reese Marshall, otherwise known as Gallifrey597. Take it away, Reese.
Hey everyone, Reese Gallifrey597 here. I've been asked by Alex to do my thoughts on the Arrowverse, explain why I love it, good, bad, and about season 9. So I caught up with Arrow in its early days. I binge watched Arrow season 1, Arrow season 2, and I caught up for season 3 of Arrow and the Flash season 1. I loved it. I loved Arrow. I was a big, huge Arrow fan, and Flash I got to as well. And they've added so many different shows. As it went on, the quality went up and down, but the amount of content they were pushing out for each show, it was very hard to keep up. But I did my best. I did fall out of the last couple series of shows, so like Legends and Batwoman. I'd never finished their last seasons, and then they were cancelled. But the crossovers have been amazing. Just kind of watching all the different stories and it all compiling into sort of one big event, and having that benefit of watching it and it kind of all paying off. It's a really nice feeling. But yeah, so for season 9, The Flash, I'm really excited. It does seem obviously going to be an end of the Flash show, but also kind of like the end of like the Arrowverse in general, really, because obviously you've got cameos from people from Supergirl like Dreamer, and Batman as well is going to be in it, and Arrow, and all these people. So I'm excited for it to kind of a big send off. It's gone on for a long time, and obviously some shows you like more than others. Kind of Arrow as well, obviously love that, kind of dipped, but it kind of ended on a high and stuff. So no, I am kind of, it's bittersweet really. Superman and Lois as well, that's going to be going on for a couple more seasons, James Gunn has confirmed, so that's good. So it kind of will live on, but obviously that's separate, it's in its own little universe. So yeah, I'm excited for kind of the Flash ending on a high. This is obviously a shorter season, the long seasons are quite a lot, but I'm happy it's kind of got this far, and it's an amazing tune what they've achieved for all the different shows. But I'm happy. I'm kind of in a bit of a way happy it's ending now, rather than it going on and kind of ending on its own terms. So yes, here's to one last hurrah with the Flash and all the other CW shows. So yeah, amazing cheers everybody involved. Anyway, enjoy the rest of the podcast. Peace.
A massive thank you to Reese for appearing in this video. You can check him out at the end of the video. I'll link his channel on the screen and in the description down below. But also, please do subscribe to this channel. Also comment your thoughts and give this video a like if you want to. It's massively appreciated in that almighty YouTube algorithm. Certainly there is a lot more content coming on this channel, so again I ask you to subscribe. But until next time though guys, please do take care. I'll see you guys all next time. Bye bye.